to order the East Dundee Planning and Zoning and Historic Commission meeting of Thursday, May 13th to order. Roll call.
Scarpelli.
Here.
Holloman.
Here.
Meyer. Apke.
Here.
Stenick.
Here.
Bernstein.
Here.
Schock.
Here.
And Musket.
Catherine, I think you froze after Bernstein.
Oh, I'm sorry. Schock
Yes.
and Musket. No.
Okay. The next item on the agenda would be to, if somebody would like to make a motion to nominate any one of us as acting chairman for tonight's meeting.
I'd like to make a motion that we nominate Frank Scarpelli to run the meeting.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Scarpelli.
Yes.
Holloman.
Yes.
Apke.
Yes.
Stenick.
Yes.
Bernstein.
Yes.
And Schock.
Yes.
Okay. The first item is the approval of the Planning and Zoning and Historic Commission meeting minutes dated April 15th, 2021. Would anybody like to make a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion, any changes to the minutes? Hearing none. Catherine, roll call.
Scarpelli. Scarpelli.
Yes.
Holloman.
Yes.
Apke.
Yes.
Stenick.
Yes.
Bernstein.
Yes.
And Schock.
Yes.
Okay. Now is public comment. If there is anyone in the audience tonight that wishes to make any public comment regarding items on the agenda or regarding any matter before the village. Okay, hearing none. Catherine, there were no mail received or emails. Okay, that brings us to the Historic Commission. Number one, certificate of appropriateness for illuminated blade sign and window decals. The Distance Social, 314 North River Street. And I see Joe Zeller is on the line with us. The floor is yours, Mr. Zeller.
Yeah, I'm just looking for approval for the blade sign. Not sure what I need to describe or ask you guys, but I think it would be a plus to the village or to the street. I don't think it's just anything detrimental. And I think actually it's a simpler solution to put one thing on a 150-year-old building versus a unilluminated sign, and then I have to put two other goose lamp or neck lights. So I think it's a cleaner install. But yeah, so I'm just seeking approval to put one very elegant lit sign on my building. And hi, Steve Apke, who I haven't seen in years.
Do any of the commissioners have any questions or comments? I don't hear any questions or comments. I don't know if I'm having problems on my end with my internet, but
I thought I heard that it was approved, is what I heard.
oh. Well, hearing no questions or comments, would any of the commissioners like to make a motion to grant the distance social their requested certificate of appropriateness.
I'll make a-
On motion, we approve it.
I'll second.
Catherine, I'm having difficulties on my end. Did someone make a motion?
Yes, Apke did, and then Stenick seconded.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, roll call.
Scarpelli,
Yes.
Holloman,
Yes.
Apke,
Yes.
Stenick,
Yes.
Bernstein,
Yes.
and Shock.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good luck, Joe.
All right. Enjoy
See you
the rest
soon,
of your
Joe.
evening, guys.
Good seeing you.
Checking out. Yeah, take care, Steve. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Okay, the next item is new business.
Hey, Frank.
Item
Frank.
number 1, public hearing for property identification number 03-23-479-006 to consider a request for a special use for the operation of a child care center located at 460 Dundee Avenue, East Dundee, Illinois, in the B3 Service District. Would somebody like to make a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Catherine, roll call?
Scarpelli,
Yes.
Holloman,
Yes.
Apke,
Yes.
Stenick,
Yes.
Bernstein,
Yes.
and Shock.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Frank, it's Brad.
Yes. Yeah.
With the public hearing, since we're in the public hearing, anyone that's going to speak within the public hearing, we need to swear them in outside
Okay.
of the commission members. We just got to ask them that their statements that they're about to give are the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So if you could do that before any petitioner or public speak
Sure.
inside the public hearing.
Thank you, Brad. Anyone wishing to speak within the public hearing, if you could raise your right hand and just say, I do hereby promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay. So that was the Toulis and Miss Burnside. That would be accurate, other than the commissioners.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Catherine, you have the all the green cards from the mailings, all the notifications.
I do not. Chris, do you possibly have those?
We don't, we haven't done certified mails in a long time. It's not required by our code.
Okay.
or state. We use regular mail, first
Okay.
class mail. And we actually do the mailing ourselves, so we know it's gone out.
Okay. Very good. Then does staff have any comments at this time?
I do not have any comments on what's stated in the memo that we're recommending approval of this.
Okay. Then I will turn the floor over to the applicants for your presentation.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nasa, and I believe my business partner, Annalisa, is on the call as well. We are partnering in the attempt to open up a child care facility at the address mentioned before by Mr. Scarpelli. Basically, we are going to get licensed by DCFS to serve the community for daycare purposes from 6 weeks up into 12 years old. The school age kids will be before and after school care. It's a pretty big facility, and it has, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the layout, but it has a opportunity to have lots of gross motor indoor play and outdoor as well. We want to concentrate on creative curriculum as well as incorporating lots of physical activity. when I seen the property, I fell in love with the space and the opportunity to be able to serve the community. I'm personally a resident. I've lived in the community about 3 years, and early childhood education has been my field from when I graduated from college. My business partner, she has already 2 established daycare centers, one in McHenry and one in Belvedere. And there's another location in Streamwood. We just got the permit to open that this week. But we're excited for this new journey, and we just want to come and serve the community and provide good quality, safe environment for the children in the community.
Okay. Any question from any of the commissioners? Anyone else from the public wishing to make any comments, pro or against? Hearing no comments from the public and hearing no comments from the commission, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll move.
Second,
Motion and a second to close the public hearing. Roll call?
Scarpelli,
Yes.
Holloman,
yes.
Apke,
yes,
Stenick,
Yes.
Bernstein,
yes,
and Schock.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to approve the special use for a child care center located at 460 Dundee Avenue, East Dundee, Illinois, in the B3 Service Business District.
I'll move.
Second,
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Catherine, roll call?
Scarpelli,
Yes.
Holloman,
yes.
Apke,
yes,
Stenick,
Yes.
Bernstein,
yes.
and Schock.
Yes.
good luck.
Yay! For your time. We appreciate
Pretty simple. There you
it.
go.
Have a good one.
Okay.
Send all your babies our way.
Okay,
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Have a good night.
Good night.
I would entertain a motion to approve the findings of fact for the approval of the special use operation of a child care center located at 460 Dundee Avenue, East Dundee, Illinois, in the B3 Service Business District as presented.
So moved.
Second,
Motion and a second. Any further discussion or additions? Hearing none. Catherine, roll call?
Scarpelli,
Yes.
Holloman,
yes.
Apke,
yes,
Stenick,
Yes.
Bernstein,
Yes,
and Schock.
Yes.
Okay, that brings us to the next item on the agenda. Public hearing for property identification numbers 0323182029 and 030 to consider a request for a variance from sections 157.033, section B6, small b2 of the zoning chapter of East Dundee Village Code, requiring that a side yard abutting a street is not less than 30 feet in depth, to allow for the side yard to be 1 foot in depth with the recommended conditions. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Scarpelli,
Yes.
Holloman,
Yes.
Apke,
yes,
Stenick,
Yes.
Bernstein,
yes,
and Schock.
Yes.
Okay, anybody wishing to give testimony today, other than the commissioners and village staff, if I could ask you to raise your right hand, and please repeat after me. I solemnly swear
I solemnly swear
that all my testimonies will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
that all my testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Uh,
Excellent.
everyone, everyone is sworn in. Chris or Brad, do you have anything to add, or should we turn it over to the petitioners?
Well, I mean, it's what we're looking to do here is reduce that front yard on the side of their property to allow them to put up a 4-foot fence, 1 foot off the property line. A 3-foot fence is allowed per our code, but with the building setbacks, a 4-foot fence would not be allowed. So that's why we're looking at reducing that setback to 1 foot, and it would only be for fences. No other structures would be allowed within that setback, per the recommendation.
Okay. Do any of the commissioners have any questions at this point before we hear from the petitioners? Chris, I do have one question, in that I can't find anywhere in our code where fences have to meet any setbacks. I think we allow fences to go right on the property line. So do we have to grant them a variation to the front yard, or are we just granting them essentially a variation allowing the fence to be 1 foot higher than the code allows?
The fences do have setbacks depending on their height. Anything that's, any fence not in the front yard is allowed to be up to 6 feet. Anything in a front yard would be allowed up to be 3 feet, non-privacy, picket or wrought iron or aluminum. That's non-privacy. So we were looking at doing the reducing that 30-foot setback to allow the 4-foot fence.
Okay.
I don't know if Brett has anything to add to that.
No, I think you covered that pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, because my concern, as I raised in an email to you guys, is that the publication in the newspaper noticed section 151.006.5A, which is essentially allowing the 1 foot increased, or essentially noticing the public that there'd be a hearing on this property for a 1 foot increase in the fence height. But the notification for the changing of the setback was not notified in the paper. And I'm unaware that we've ever granted anyone or done any setback variations for a fence. So that's my only concern. If you guys believe that legally the village has met whatever they have to meet, I'm okay with it. That was just my take on it. I've never seen a setback enforced for a fence. So with that, I'm okay turning it over to the petitioners.
Yeah, Frank, if I could jump in just for a minute, because this was a lot of my doing. So
Okay.
I'll take responsibility and ownership for this one. So we have a very small list of the types of variations that we can actually grant. We can't grant a variation to the whole zoning code, for example. There's only certain variations we can grant. So a height variance, and particularly for a fence, is not one of them. So we did pull a prior ordinance, and the way it was handled was to change the setback so that the fence would be allowed. And so that's how we kind of took, and it was written in such way where it references the variation of the height, but that it does so by actually varying the setback. So it's very convoluted, very complicated. But I believe the intent of the code was not to grant very many variations.
Okay,
So that's why it's not one. And so this is the only way I can really see it be done. And it was the way that was done in the past. So I just want to jump in and
okay,
clarify that, 'cause it's
so
very
we're
confusing.
granting, providing it goes through and passes, we're granting a variation to the setback, but then putting conditions on it such that they can only do a 50% opaque fence with a 4-foot height.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Thank you.
thank you. Okay, if the petitioners have anything to add, all the commissioners have had your submission as well as the recommendation from the village.
And we just want to say that it's not actually in the front of our house. It's because we're on the corner lot and the side, our backyard faces the side court. So it's not really the front of our house, but that's about it. I don't know what else.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna obstruct anything. It's only 4 feet, so.
You can see through it. It's a wrought iron fence, so. Or aluminum, I guess.
Okay, any of the commissioners have any questions for the applicants?
Oh, I think it's going to look very nice and make that corner look good.
Thank you.
Okay, hearing no other comments, and is there anyone from the public, anyone from their neighborhood that's on that would like to, you'd have to be sworn in because only the applicants were sworn in, but I don't see anyone else
There's
on.
nobody on.
So I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Motion in a second. Any further discussion? Catherine, roll call?
Scarpelli,
Yes.
Holloman,
Yes.
Abkey,
Yes.
Stenick,
Yes.
Bernstein,
Yes.
and Schock.
Okay, I guess I have another question, and Brad, you kind of answered it in the email back to me, but when we look at the conditions needed to grant a variance, section 157.207, section 1A, C, and 2A through F, by the applicant's own application, they've identified that they don't meet some of those standards. But can we still approve the variation if they don't meet all the standards?
Yes, the standards there are to help guide the commission when making these decisions, but ultimately it's up to the commission.
Okay. Okay. For all the rest of the commissioners, our code has section 157.207 that lists out 9 different items, standards that we should consider every time we go to grant one of these variations. And they're also, Brad put them in our findings of fact. And in that, he had listed some of the things where it didn't meet the standards, but again, hearing his comment that we can approve it if we wish to. So at this point in time, I would entertain a motion to approve the variance to, let me get back to the agenda, to consider a variation from section 157.033, section B, section 6, section small b2 of the zoning chapter of East Dundee Village Code, requiring that a side yard abutting a street is not to be less than 30 feet in depth, and allowing for that side yard to be 1 foot in depth, with the recommended conditions set forth in the application by staff.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call?
Scarpelli,
Yes.
Holloman,
Yes.
Apke,
Yes.
Stenick,
Yes.
Bernstein,
Yes.
and Schock.
Okay, next would be a motion to approve the findings of facts for approval as recommended by staff.
Make a motion that we approve the findings of fact.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call?
Scarpelli,
Yes.
Holloman,
Yes.
Apke,
Yes.
Stenick,
Yes.
Bernstein,
Yes.
and Schock.
Yes.
Okay. Good luck. Congratulations.
Thank you all.
Okay, do any of the commissioners have anything they'd like to discuss? Any items? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second that.
Second, Catherine, roll call?
Scarpelli,
Yes.
Holloman,
Yes.
Apke,
Yes.
Stenick,
Yes.
Bernstein,
Yes.
and Schock.
Yes.
So long. Have a good
Bye.
weekend.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Good
See you,
night.
everybody.
Good night.
Good night.